In Ephesians 2, verse 8 and 9, we're great with faith and faith, not of works. Just a mention of. That is God's offer of salvation. Some people call that grace. No, that's part of grace. But it's like any gift. There's no such thing as an unconditional gift. The very least we have to do on a gift, we have to receive it. Now, how do we receive salvation? Well, God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, whosoever believes in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. There's the gift God gave. How do I respond? John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. God loved us to take, we love Him to accept the gift. That is what grace is. The only way that I can expect my children, all of them, to be saved, to be with me, long when I depart the flesh, was for them to accept or to re-accept the gift of God's grace. So we look at some of the scriptures that are taught in that. I'm going to read some of these others to you. We look at 19, chapter 19, and those verses I've got listed. Verse 13, a foolish son is the ruin of his father. And that's exactly true. If you want to see anguish of heart, your parents, when your son does something foolish, steps out of line, particularly if it's a dangerous thing, you'll taste an anguish of heart. And that happens. And it does. Go down to verse 18. Chasten the child with its hope, and do not set your heart on his destruction. So when we punish a child, when parents, we're not to punish him to kill him, not to punish him to ruin him for life, we're to punish him to bring him back to reality. That he is not yet responsible for making his own decisions, or that she is not. Now, that's easy. My 18-year-old daughter, I never knew her. He knows her. At 18, she came here to River Station here at Clarkville. She came to me and said, Daddy, I want to get married. Huh? My baby daughter wants to get married? Well, she held off for about 6 or 7 months. That's it. Fortunately, she married a Christian. The man that I had the privilege of helping to learn the gospel. But it could have been the other way around. She had been trained enough at that point, learned enough, so the man that she selected to learn to love was a Christian already. Listen to verse 20. Listen to counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in your latter day. That's the children. I don't know everything, but I know a lot more. I knew a lot more when I was 30 than my daughter and my first son were 2 and 3 years old. If I didn't know anything more, I knew a lot more about living. And I was beginning to study the Bible to learn a lot more about what God wanted out of me in living. Some of the other verses got down there. Proverbs 23, 13, and 14. Do not withhold correction from the child. For you beat him, he will not die. You shall beat him with a rod, and shall deliver his soul from hell. There are times when children get so rebellious, they'll do almost anything that they can get away with. What do you do at that point? Solomon said, beat him with a rod. Now, that's not just like a thin switch. If you read something about Jewish history, there was what's called corporal punishment today. The idea that when a man was guilty of a particular offense, he was not stoned to death. He was what they call today caned. He was forced to lay down, and the Jewish limit was 40 strikes, 40 with a rod. Now, the rod was not any little thin thing, it was something about that big.